and welcome to another live edition of the Dream Wager. We are here on this scorcher of a Monday, July 26th, 2021. As always, I'm your host, Dylan. Alongside me, we got our NBA guru, Elvis. How are you doing?
Great, man. Great.
Good to have you. And joining us from sunny South Carolina, the legend, Joey D. How are you, sir?
Hanging in there. Coming off a pretty solid weekend.
Yeah, how was your weekend bets, especially in the UFC? I know we got robbed of a couple fights by these fucking judges, but your UFC picks go good for the most part?
Yeah, for the most part, like you said, we got a lot of controversial decisions, but yeah, I think my action was like about 13-7, so definitely in the green.
Nice.
Great night.
What's not hitting the rounds?
Specifics, I believe. Like sometimes I go with betting with the verdict, but might as well just take some money line odds and go with your specialty, the rounds, because those hit.
Right. Yeah. How about you, Elvis? Still hot in baseball?
Whoa.
No.
Cool down.
Wow.
It's freezing. It's a hot day today, but your boy
No Red Sox? Not hitting?
Red Sox hit, but
Other than
other than that,
All right, they
not
consistent.
looking good.
not looking good.
So you took the Padres, and the Marlins wound up upsetting the
Bro,
Padres.
everything just went left. I'm like, wow.
It happens.
It happens. That's betting. That's betting. It is what it is.
Yeah, Joe. I only hit with one of my UFC. I was cold, but the main event hit.
That's
and
right.
The over hit as well. Congrats to TJ Dillashaw. I think he's right back in contention for the belt. Did they get fight of the night?
No, it was actually given to the co-main. It was given to Kyler
Wow.
Phillips and Julian Paiva.
What?
It was
what
an
happened?
underdog night. All the underdogs hit. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, how many underdogs? I think like 7, right?
I think the whole main card and very well possibly some of the prelims too.
What happened in that Kyler Phillips fight? Because the first round, like we were talking before we went on air, the first round, I think you and I both scored at 10-8, but I don't think we could even judge anymore because based on what these judges have been talking about, what'd you see in that fight?
Yeah, definitely. The first round was Kyler Phillips all the way heavy that way. 10-8, I think, is guaranteed. I think it also reflected on the global scorecards. Most people agreed, but we don't think that he lost the decision because if you go to the third round, like second round, granted, Holly and Paiva, Elvis, your pick there, that hit.
Yeah, good
Like
job
he
on
won
that.
that second round. And the third round, it could have been a toss-up. Just like how I scored the main event being a draw the fifth round. I thought the third round in that fight was also a draw. So if you got a 10-8 in the first and a 10-9 for the other guy in the second and a draw in the third, the 10-8 should win you the fight. So
Yeah.
I just think that the judges were off. They seeing different things than we are. And so they have the right, they have the job. It's unfortunate because we had DC even being laughable about the situation. He even said he doesn't know where the judging is at this point or how to judge. So
What's the story with these judges of late, Joe? What can we say about
I mean, the thing is that I think majority of them are boxing judges coming over, and obviously some of them are getting more familiar with the sport of MMA, but they haven't had an upbringing in it, and so you're getting a different eyes on the fight, and their opinions matter, which is unfortunate. I think we need to have more ex-fighters, maybe more referees that make the transition into the judging, or maybe even add a judge or two onto the table so that they can get more perspective and have more cards.
Nice. What was your fight of the night?
I thought that I called that maybe that Julian Paiva and Kyler Phillips would win it, but after seeing, like I said, full display of mixed martial arts on the main event, I really thought that Corey Sandhagen and TJ Dillashaw should have taken home fight of the night. I really do.
How about the knockout of the night? Who got that?
Oh man, I don't think there were many knockouts. I think Adrian Yanez scored the performance bonus. He had the knockout in the second round against Randy Costa. But man, we called our guy Julio Arce in the prelims there getting that knockout in the second round as well. He looked
good
very
job.
much more impressive to me, and I thought that he should have maybe had earned a performance bonus for his knockout. And then Mickey Gall, another Jersey cat, should have got his submission bonus, I think, and neither of them did. So I think it was just an off night altogether, even though our bets were kind of on.
Darren Elkins, what a performance. Like you said, he got better as the fight went on. I thought he was in danger in the first round,
Dude,
almost getting
boy, was
submitted.
he had the guillotine locked in, Derek Minner, and then he had the reverse triangle into an armbar. And Darren Elkins, he dude just doesn't tap. So the fact that he got out of those submissions, you know he was gonna that storm was starting brewing on him because he, just like we said, he gets better as the fight goes on. Later in the rounds, your opponent's getting weaker and tired, and he just seems to be getting more stamina, more cardio going. And his nickname fits him perfectly, the damage baby, because he just takes damage and he deals it. So
I thought that was an extremely impressive performance by Elkins because I think a lot of people that I talked to and saw that were picking these fights, they had minors. So it was surprising that Elkins got, and I think he kind of dominated after that first round and he kind of settled in a little bit. I think he dominated the fight.
Absolutely. Yeah. He is a storm, man. That's the thing. It's like once he gets it going and you're caught in the eye of the storm is like pretty much no getting out. So we had a lot of controversial decisions, man.
Yeah, and also with the Mickey Gall fight, good call on that because I had the opposite. Mickey Gall just he looked sharp from start to finish.
And I said it, man. Him bringing Matt Brown into his corner, it possibly could have been brought into the training camp a little prior to the just cornering. Could have worked on a lot of things because his stand-up looked sharp. He had that dive-in, right hand that shocked Jordan Williams. And man, he's just a BJJ black belt. I think he's just nasty on the ground. Like,
he even shouted Matt Brown out in the press conference afterwards because he was like, "Yo, thank you guys for training with me. You guys elevated me." So now he's probably going to move up in the rankings, deservingly so.
Absolutely. And there's one fight I think you maybe want to discuss as well, talking about the controversial decisions, because we had Miranda Maverick on decision there. And man, I think majority of the populace had it her way. She was also a minus 1,200 going into the decision. This is something that DC mentioned, and you also replied on Twitter about, and Macy Barber wound up winning. So, man, I don't know what we're looking at anymore.
I can't even judge it. I'm thinking that I'm writing my own card down while watching the fight, and I'm like, okay, maybe 10-9, 10-8. And then when the judges announce theirs, and then their cards are actually shown on Twitter, you're like, we got to be watching two different fights.
Absolutely.
Or like what you're saying, they're judging. I think, for example, in the main event, they were judging Dillashaw a little more because he kept applying pressure. Yeah, he looked more hurt.
Damage,
but he kept applying pressure towards Sandhagen. And I guess in rounds 3, 4, and 5 championship rounds, they valued that more.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. That's what they do. You're supposed to value the 4th and 5th round more, those championship rounds. And I even marked Corey Sandhagen winning the 4th round.
Me too.
But the 5th round, I could have said was a toss-up. I think it marked it as a draw for myself, and that's where the totality came as a draw. And it was the first time in recorded history on Verdict that it was a draw. We had an exact same number for both the fighters, and that's the first time that's ever happened.
Who do you see Dillashaw getting now? Because he said he wants a top 5. He's here for the belt. He's not going to be versing anyone below the top 5 now since he just beat number 2.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. After the layoff and everything he fought through, you have no control over in the fight what happens. Obviously, you can control what your weapons have to do, but like whatever happens in that fight, you have no control over. Beating number 2 makes him, I think, eligible because he was champion before he left. He went down to 125 to fight Triple C, but lost that fight. I think the weight cut is hard, But, man, beating number 2, I think he might be in line for a title shot already, which is crazy to say. But, we got Peter Yan and Aljamain Sterling in Abu Dhabi. That's coming, I think, in like October, if I'm correct, or something. Yeah. So they'll be fighting for that. And I think whoever wins after that, you give TJ the title shot because there's still, 135 might be the most competitive division in UFC. So you still got a lot of work to be done and a lot of fighters to see what happens after they, get together.
I think because Peter Yan was winning the fight so handedly before the illegal knee, I think he will verse Peter Yan. Peter Yan will get the belt back. People were saying on Twitter, Peter Yan versus TJ in Russia at St. Petersburg.
Wow.
That's a fucking venue that's historic. Yeah. That's like Whitaker, Izzy in Auckland.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. So, the Russians, they'll sell out their arena for their guys. So I think that'll be a beautiful spectacle to have those guys over there.
Well, it was an amazing fight night, regardless of the judges. Hopefully we don't have that issue this weekend. We have another fight night, Hall versus Strickland. I can't wait for that.
I think that's a good one.
I told you, I kind of like Strickland.
Yeah, a little lean early. Yeah, I think he's the underdog right now, too.
Big underdog.
Yeah, because actually, I'll be honest with you. When Uriah Hall faced off against Chris Weidman, I thought Chris Weidman would come out victorious in that one. Wow. So, I hate to be jumping early, but I might be leaning with you as well with Sean Strickland.
A lot of people on Uriah Hall, they make the case he just beat 2 former champions in Chris Weidman and Silva.
That's true.
So he's on a kind of a tear, regardless of the injury. Shit happens, but I think this fight in a way. Any other fights on the card that's going to be a bar burner in your eyes?
There's a bunch of good fights, like under the radar ones as well. I know there's like Cheyenne Buys versus Gloria De Paula in there, so that's interesting because last time we saw Cheyenne Buys, she pretty much got dominated. So we'll see if she can bounce back there. And then I know there's a bunch of other good fights that are going on in that card. So
Yeah, I think the co-main event are two heavyweights.
yeah, I don't have it exactly right now, but
Yeah,
man,
it's Chris Dawkins versus
Shamil, yes. Abdulkarimov.
I don't know how to
Yeah,
pronounce
Abdulkarimov. I think that fight was supposed to happen this fight night, but it got pushed to Saturday.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a hell of a fight night. Can't wait for that. Speaking of a crazy weekend, Elvis, what's the story with our men's basketball team? I know I said last episode the plus points with France was a good bet, but I didn't actually think they were gonna win outright. Is it time to start fading this USA team till they prove you otherwise?
Nah, never. Come
What?
on, now, Dylan. Never fade Team USA, especially men's basketball. But I still will roll with a visiting team or opponent team plus
Wow.
the points because I don't know if it's a
You
chemistry
can't-
issue, coaching issue, players don't want to play defense, or they just basketball ain't the priority right now. I don't know what's going on, but that ain't winning basketball what we're seeing.
Well, their next game, oh my God.
It's Iran, and it reminds us like 39, aren't we?
So it's on Wednesday at 12 a.m. and the USA men's basketball team is a 41-point favorite.
I think
It
you
was-
take that.
We might have to take the point.
Yeah.
41?
That's
Like,
the thing.
Like if we're up 30, we're gonna let them, just lose by like 28.
Oh my
That's a
God.
lot.
That's ridiculous.
Bro, honestly, I don't see us beating anybody by 40.
Until they
We
prove
can.
otherwise.
It's not that we can't. We can, but are we gonna do it? Or are we just gonna beat them by like 20?
We have the second best coach ever in Coach Popovich. Is it because Coach K abandoned us?
Chill. You saw what season he had in Duke. Come on now.
Oh no.
But we used to be able to eat fast food and go beat these teams by 50. That's why the points are there.
now
We
what-
used to-
now
we
what's
went at the
happening?
gas station.
A lot of people were saying on Twitter too, a lot of our stars aren't playing, but I'm not trying to hear that. Those are excuses.
We have arguably the best player on the world on the court.
That's what we shouldn't be losing to Evan Fournier dropping 30
France
on
is
us.
a good team, but France is a good team.
They have
They-
NBA players, don't get me wrong, but they're
France-
not like us.
France is arguably
That's
a medal
ridiculous.
team.
Yeah,
They're a
but,
medal team.
but they're not better than the United States.
Nobody
is.
should be better than.
At the end, they wanted more. If you're playing harder,
Yeah, I
at the end, Dylan, if I'm better than you in something, but you wanted more, guess what? 9 out of 10 times you're gonna beat me in it.
Yeah, I agree.
They
Hey.
wanted more. USA might play harder when it goes into the medal rounds, but we're gonna have to get there first.
That's true. They have to
Yo,
break
what
out
were
of
you
that. Yeah, I was just gonna ask Elvis. Like, do you think that maybe on another perspective that it could show that internationally the players are getting better? No slight on the USA because
Oh.
they're not putting like the entire best team out there. They're putting world class players, of course. But I think with look, Giannis from Greece. You got to see all these other countries that are just getting better internationally. Slovenia.
Yeah,
Luka Doncic.
Look at Luka. He had 48 points.
48.
Uh,
he almost had triple double again.
Olympic record. Like I was saying on the last EP, like teams are just they caught up. This is in 1992 no more where everybody's shocked. Like, oh, I'm on the floor with Michael Jordan. No. These people think they belong in the NBA. They honestly better than some NBA players. And every country arguably is pretty good. Like you're not gonna beat these teams by 40. I highly doubt they even beat Iran by 30 points.
It's a high total.
Just because it's a high total, and maybe they don't even want to beat them by 30. There's no point,
Rest the
so-
guys there.
Rest the guys, there's no point. Like I don't think they want it. Like at the end of the day, like in 2012, Kobe knew he wasn't the offensive player he was. You had LeBron, you had Melo, you had KD, you have all these shooters. You know what he told Coach K? I'm gonna play defense. I want to guard the best guy on the opponent team, and that's what he did. And that 2008, 2012 team, he wasn't shooting the ball 20 times a game. He was locking down.
In FIBA's world ranking, we're the number 1 team, followed by Spain, Australia, Argentina. They have a couple NBA players, but even if we go down the list, we lost to number 22 Nigeria. Yeah, they have 2-3 players from the NBA, but there has to be a missing. Maybe I'm missing something, but there has to be a missing piece. What do you think that is for us? Do you think it's the chemistry ultimately?
LeBron. Nah,
No, you can't blame it on Goat now.
You know, if we had LeBron, you know, it'd be a different story. But now,
Oh, yeah.
I honestly don't know, man. You know, Devin Booker, Chris Middleton, and Drew Holiday just landed there. So
And
maybe,
Drew Holiday was putting the team on his back in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
he was doing it all.
I say it's a lot of
So-
fatigue though on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I honestly don't know. I don't know if I just feel like they're not playing hard enough.
You think
Yeah.
leadership
You're
as
driving
well?
Talent.
What happened?
Like
Joe?
leadership as well? Do you think, Elvis?
Yeah, I don't think there's not one person leading the team, because every clip or every time I watch them, Pop is talking to them nice. He's not up in their face. I mean, granted, you can't talk to men like that anymore, but like I don't know. Usually there's an accountability, or at least a player steps up and takes account for everyone's mishandles. But now KD sitting there, and I'm surprised by Draymond, because Draymond has Olympic experience and he's just sitting there on the bench. Maybe he's worried about Golden State.
I'm be
I'll say,
honest,
where's the
maybe
dog
they
in him?
just shocked.
From
maybe-
what?
Maybe they didn't think this was possible.
They already lost 2 in the opening round. You didn't think this was possible?
No, I did. I told you.
No, we did. But
The
they-
play for the
they had
Olympics is
to.
the opponents plus the points. That's the play.
That's the play.
That might be every play. I'm going to. I love this country more. I think
You
more
see the
than.
shirt?
Shout out you.
Yeah, shout out.
And I think Polo's sponsoring
Always.
always. But regardless, I think besides Elvis and I, maybe Joey, we love this country so much. But I have to fade the United States men's basketball team.
I'm not fading.
I have to. I'm
I'm
going to
not
take the
fading.
41 points.
I take the points.
Yeah,
but
I'll
not-
take the points,
I'm
but not
fading.
fade them. If it's money line, I think you got to take them still.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
'Cause
but-
they're gonna
Like,
now
if
have to
you wanna
buckle
sprinkle
down.
A few dollars on our
Yeah.
money line, by all means.
I don't know.
if we come back Friday and Iran upset them, I don't want to hear a single thing from both of you, because you guys
If
are
Iran wins, I'm gonna buy an Iran. I heart Iran shirt.
Respect.
respect.
Because I'm wearing a USA shirt today. So if we lose to them, I'm gonna either one buy that shirt or not show up at all.
They need to buckle down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally. But I do want to note that the NBA draft is this Thursday night. I've been saying it for months on the pod, and it'll finally come true Thursday night. Cade Cunningham will be the #1 overall pick. I know you'll be watching, Elvis. You have any fun wagers you'll be betting on, or you're just gonna stay away?
I haven't really looked at them to be honest, but probably a wager. I'd say Suggs top 3.
Let's see
Wow.
where he's at.
He's
right
definitely
now.
going to be a high pick. You really
Yeah.
think Cade's going to
He's
get
not
locked
going
in?
number 1.
You think
Yeah,
Cade's getting locked in at 1?
He's locked in.
Yeah, he's
to
minus
Detroit, right?
Yeah, to Detroit, he's minus 6,000.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
he's-
goodness.
That's
So they
a
must
lot.
have already talked to him and brought him in the building. And
No, they did what they did to who's the
Hmm.
Jake? What's his name?
Jake,
LaMelo Ball?
The Jets. Who the Jets drafted the quarterback?
Oh.
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson. They already gave him the playbook. They already gave him the key to the building.
Oh wow.
He's already in. He's already practicing in Detroit right now. He's locked in.
So Jalen Suggs is the leading odds for the 4th overall pick at minus 160.
And then they got that dude from the G League going 2 overall.
Yeah, Jalen
Wow.
Green.
Green,
He's
yeah.
probably the most
That-
pure scorer.
He's probably the most NBA ready player.
Say being
Yeah,
in the
and
G
then-
League.
yeah. And I told you this USC center/forward, the brother Evan Mobley. He's probably gonna go 3rd. He's guards the paint, could
Who has
score.
the 3rd pick?
Not the-
Should know this now.
I say
that
not
we-
the Knicks.
Chill. Don't this.
For the first time in 12
No, I was gonna
years.
say they've been getting high picks, and I thought they would still have it, even though they were a winning team this year. You
Nah,
know?
honestly, I'm gonna guess Oklahoma City because they got like 60
Mm.
draft picks for the next 6 years. If I had to guess, it's Oklahoma
Right
City.
now, it's Detroit. Houston got the 2nd pick. Cleveland.
Mm.
And then, yeah, you're right. 4th is Toronto. 5th is Orlando. 6 OKC. 7 Golden State. 8 Orlando. 9 Sacramento. And 10 New Orleans.
Okay.
Damn. Orlando has 2 top 10 picks, 5 and 8.
That can help them.
Yeah, that could help.
But for
especially-
on another note, that these drafts kind of go under the radar because we just had the NHL draft as well, and that went under the
Oh,
radar
yeah.
big time. And this NBA draft coming up, I don't think a lot of people are talking about it. So I'm glad
No,
we are.
Yeah, definitely. And shout out Luke Hughes coming to New Jersey
With his brother. That's right, brothers
Dude,
right
gonna,
there.
He's gonna be a fucking stud. He's gonna be another. These brothers that we got, Jack and Luke, they're gonna be the next Stahl brothers, bro.
Oh, I love
really, I really think that. Yeah, he's not gonna play immediately.
Who were the 2 brothers that played for? Was it Vancouver, the Canucks? There was the two brothers that played together.
Yeah,
I can't. I remember their name's slipping me right now.
yeah, mine too. I don't know.
But they've been on the same team together for I don't know how long.
Sutter,
Right? Something like that.
Sutter brothers or something like that. Yeah, but they've been good for 10 plus years. But yeah, no, Luke Hughes, congrats. He went 4th overall to the Devils. He's going to go to Michigan for a year. I think that's good. Get some development. He's 17, 18 years old.
Yeah. Let him grow. Let him mature.
Yeah, he played
Kobe.
for the USA team. Dude. and he's American, which is the best part, bro.
Let's go.
Man, I just hit my. But
He
yeah,
almost knocked out the table.
but,
I'll say it's not like
Great.
a whole. What's his name? Was it who was that we had one time? Kovalchuk, and he just blew us away. He's like, I'm going to
he
Russia.
left us for Russia. Fuck him.
Yeah, we don't have to deal with that here.
Let's hit the diamond. We only got a couple games on the slate today. Elvis, why don't you start us off? What games are you betting tonight?
I'll start it off. I'll be taking the Red Sox tonight.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
To the end of the season.
If it ain't on my action app, just know I'm busy.
We got to check in on Elvis. I'll just say we got to check in on you. Be like, yo, you all
Yeah,
right?
you got, yo, you're not taking the Red Sox today? No, I haven't had time to touch the phone.
Your boy Pavetta's on the mound.
Panetta's on the mound against Toronto. We got no hitter through 7 yesterday, and then heated up in the 8th, and I think we're gonna continue that tonight. I might even lean the over at 11. I know it's pretty high.
Yeah, that's a high total.
It's a high total, but at the end of the day, we're gonna come out swinging.
I think you might get to this guy, Thomas Hatch. This is his first career start.
That's what
Oh
I'm
wow.
Yeah, so
Against the Red Sox lineup, that's not an easy
At
welcome.
Fenway.
at Fenway too.
I'm gonna be honest. That's bad decision making by management. How you gonna throw that kid?
Is
out
he
there?
lefty?
He's a right-handed pitcher.
He's a right-handed pitcher. Okay, I was gonna say if he was a lefty, then I think those righties on the team would have even more of an advantage.
And by the way, speaking of the lineup, Kike Hernandez has been on fire.
Bro,
dude.
heating up. I'm gonna be honest. Our lineup is very underrated, and
Very.
nobody honestly thought we'd be hitting this good. And
Only you.
only me.
That's right.
Only me.
That was a
Once we have
7-10 game, right?
Yeah, that's a 7-10 game.
Yeah.
That's the second 7-10. We do have a double header. First game, Mets Braves.
Stroman's pitcher, right?
Yeah, I
Yep.
have a play on
Had a
the-
lean.
I have a play. I'm gonna take the Mets run line at plus 155. It's a 7-inning game. Like I said, the Mets are playing the Braves. Stroman's going on the mound. Kyle, excuse me. I keep thinking of Kyler.
Yeah.
Kyle Merler is on the mound for the Braves. Stroman's been good at home with a 2.62 ERA. He's given up 3 home runs and 44 innings, and opponents are only hitting 244 off him. He gets a lot of ground balls, and he's backed up by a really good bullpen. I think the Mets are heating up, especially with Pete coming off the home run derby. I don't think he forgot the home run derbies.
It's
Not-
over.
It's over because he keeps hitting home runs.
Yeah, his swing didn't change at all. I think that's why he won, man. He's a home run king, bro. His swing is just perfect for the home run derby. It doesn't change, and now we're back at the second half of the season. He's just swinging, man.
Like he said, he feels like he's the best power hitter in the game.
I believe
He's
so.
doing it. Yeah. With the Braves, they're just an up and down team. They lost their best player. I don't know if acquiring Jock Peterson was a really good move. He hasn't done that much, and you just can't rely. Freddie franchise, he's doing it all. He's batting 300. He has 5 home runs in the last 7 games.
But it might not be
Can't do
enough.
it by himself. Yeah, it's not enough. So, also, the Mets at home, they're 30-15, second best winning percentage. Only the Giants have a better winning percentage. I think Stroman will outduel Mueller in this spot. I'm going to take the Mets on the run line -1.5 at plus 155. I just couldn't pass up on the value we're getting on the run line.
Guys, that's amazing because I am going to trail you guys. I have my picks put in, and for the 5-10 game, the first portion of the doubleheader, I'm taking the New York Mets -1.5 at plus 155.
Oh,
So I agree with you there. And then the 7-10, I think you took the Boston straight up, but I'm liking the over 6 runs in the first 5 because Boston could do it
Wow.
single-handedly because Pavetta might, slow down that Toronto lineup, but they can also score runs. So I feel confident that the over will hit, even though I don't like solid numbers. 6 is not as high as 11, and I'll do that.
yeah. How about this other 7-10 matchup between the Nationals and the Phillies? Do you have anything on that?
No, I don't
Jared?
have anything on that, but I think Phillies might be a better ball club at this point in the season.
Yeah,
It just
definitely.
depends who's on the mound because sometimes when you get Scherzer out there, he could just shut you down. And I don't think
Speaking of Scherzer, real quick, the Nationals put him up on the trade block,
wow, they're going to get a lot for him.
and they said the Mets have the best chance of getting him. If the
Like
Mets
we need
get
another
Scher-
pitcher. But I
The
mean, it's
Mets-
Scherzer.
Now,
Scherzer,
I hope the Red Sox
Stroman,
go for him.
Thor, Jacob, Carlos, and Rich Hill. What? By
You
the
don't
way,
need that. You don't need that.
we need it all. By
Y'all need bats.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
Speaking of Rich Hill, great performance yesterday by the 41-year-old.
Wow.
6 scoreless innings. I thought he was dominant. We didn't get a lot of runs, but we just got enough to win the game.
Yeah, that was
That's
that
all
crafty
matters.
veteranship right there on display.
Absolutely. I know this next matchup. No more 7 o'clock games. We go to 8:06 game between the Reds and the Cubs. Your boy Hendricks on the mound. You got to play for this one, Elvis.
I'll be taking Chicago money line minus 126. My man Kyle Hendricks on the mound. I'm gonna be honest, he's been doing me right all season, so I'm gonna continue rolling with him throughout the season. So
He's 12-4.
I'm telling
That's
you,
great.
man.
He might be a
Kyle
20-game winner, which is rare in today's
Bro,
game.
Bro, he might do it.
But the one thing he leads the league in, which isn't good, is he gives up a lot of home runs.
Yeah,
He's a fly ball pitcher.
He's a fly ball
and
pitcher.
sometimes it carries. But I do think they have good value. I mean, the market in the morning, it went from 120, the money line for the Cubs, to now it's at minus 132. So the public is moving in your favor. So that's good. Joe, do you have a play on this?
No, I
game?
don't. I didn't touch that one.
Okay, let's go to the other 8 o'clock game between the White Sox and Royals. Joe, anything on this one?
And the Royals are home, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Man, it's hard to fade the White Sox. Maybe you want to look at the under in the full game, but I don't have a play necessarily,
9.5.
so I would lean at under the 9.5. Man, those high numbers have been killing me, so I would definitely lean under.
Yeah, I probably would lean under, but I do have a play. I'm going to take the White Sox money line. Like you said, the Royals are hosting the Southsiders. Dallas Keuchel's on the mound for the Sox. Mike Minor's going for the Royals. Keuchel's been solid started this year. Not a lot of swing and misses, but he averages about 5 strikeouts per 9 innings. With Mike Minor, his home ERA is 5.61. Not the best, but he does walk too many batters for my liking. So I know the Royals just swept the Tigers, but up until then, they haven't been the best, and you couldn't really rely on them besides Salvador Perez. The White Sox just got a nice win last night on Sunday Night Baseball against the Brewers. Tim Anderson, Jose Abreu, they're just beasts. I like the White Sox bullpen. The Royals, on the other hand, have a bottom 5 bullpen, so you never know what you're really going to get from them. I like Keuchel in this spot because up until the Tiger series, the Royals weren't doing a great job with their bats. So I'll take the White Sox on the money line at minus 126. Elvis.
I re-rolling with you, Dill. I'm gonna be honest. I called him at 120.
Ooh, early.
Yeah,
That's good.
that was too good of odds to take Chicago.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think
Especially
they're
against Kansas City.
my bad. No, I think they're pretty favored to make it pretty far in the playoffs.
Oh,
And
yeah,
the
yeah,
fact
yeah.
that they're only 120 on this game, I was like, what?
Smart.
Yeah.
And Dallas been pretty consistent. Yeah, his ERA is a little higher than you would
the
want,
most years, yeah.
but he's been pretty consistent all year. He's been doing his thing.
Yeah, he's not that bad. He has a 4.22 ERA. Not
and
too
and
bad.
especially at Kansas City sweeping Detroit, I think they go right back down to earth.
Exactly. And I don't really like Mike Minor, like I was saying. His home splits aren't that good. Let's go to the other 8 o'clock game. We got the Tigers just getting swept by the Twins. Joe, anything on this game?
Yeah, they went on a win streak and then they got swept. You don't know what to take with
It didn't look
the
focused.
Detroit
I counter.
Tigers. No, I didn't look at that game really. I had a lot of questions, like I said, about Detroit, and obviously they're the underdog there. So I like plus money. I think I had to stay away from it.
Nice. Elvis, anything on this game?
No lean, no nothing.
Me either. I don't. I think I was riding with the Tigers for a little on their win streak, and now I think they're back to the old ways. So time to start fading them.
Unfortunately.
Again. Let's go to the 9 o'clock game. Only 2 games left. We got the Rockies against the Angels. Your boy Joe Ohtani's
Ohtani
on the mound.
Who
do you got?
I would lean with one of his props, maybe over K's or even a home run, because he just hits home runs every time he pitches.
Or home runs.
Yeah, because it's weird. It's always every time he's pitching, he's hitting home run to support himself. The only other guy I see like that to support himself is DeGrom. So I would lean with this props, but I don't have a play on the game.
Surprisingly, Shohei's his strikeouts aren't up. Only Herman Marquez strikeouts are up. Oh no, Shohei Ohtani's is. Excuse me, it's 6.5.
That's low.
I mean, the thing is that his longevity hasn't necessarily been there. We see him get 6, 7 innings in, and then he's out of the ball game. He doesn't go the full 9. But the thing is he's on the mound, and then you see him go to right field. You see him go, in the outfield and stuff. So that's always amazing. But yeah, I you know what? I'm an over guy. I'm gonna take the over at a 6.5.
Nice.
Yeah,
Love it.
that's at least a
You
K
have
an
a
inning.
lean.
If this is bettable, I'll bet that Ohtani has a no decision tonight.
Wow,
decision.
it goes
I've
to the
never heard of
bullpen. that a
Yeah.
bullpen gets a win or a loss.
Speaking of home runs, I don't like to backtrack, but it might be worth a sprinkle fucking putting Pete Alonso for a dinger. At
True.
home, he's tearing it up.
Tearing it
And
right now.
they're
I'm gonna
playing-
be honest. I'll hate that in that stadium.
What, at City Field?
Yeah, that's just a
Move the
huge-
fences in.
Yeah, that's a huge field.
They actually did move him in.
They did.
had to.
They
bro.
did.
It's a huge field.
But Alonso is like, man, he hits it so
Exactly.
hard, it doesn't even matter. He put that one in the
They don't-
second deck. Where is the last time you've seen a ball hit that far in that part of the park? You don't.
I couldn't tell you.
David Rice. Years.
Shout out the captain. Let's go to our last game. We got the Astros versus the Mariners. Joe, do you have anything?
Surprisingly
on this
so, Seattle's been playing really good, but I'm gonna fade them at home. Houston
Nice.
money line is -180, and once again, I'm gonna just ride now at this point of the season, just the better ball clubs, and I'm gonna take Houston.
game? Nice. Elvis, do you have a play on this game?
None, but if I had a lean, I'll do Seattle plus 1.5 at plus
Wow.
100.
That's not bad.
They've been
Yeah.
playing a lot of good ball. I don't think it's sustainable though. They win a lot of one-run games, and their run differential is -40, and they're what 4 or 5? They're about 5-6 games above 500.
They're 8.
8 now.
Wow.
I don't.
Getting up.
I don't think that could last though. Just
Hey,
me.
you
I-
might be right.
At the end of Seattle, you know what
Yeah.
they've been in our lifetime.
And they're in a
Nothing.
very hard division, so I
Yeah.
don't think they're gonna get too far.
What helps them, I think, is when teams travel all the way out west to see them.
Mhm.
That's the issue
I
here.
agree.
And hey, let's hope that they've been winning a lot of games by 1 run. Let's see them lose 1 game by 1 run here, because then you'll hit and I'll hit.
Exactly. Well, thank you, boys. As I mentioned on the last pod, we are now in the NFL season, just 45 more days till our Sundays are consisted of just sitting on the couch watching Red Zone and Scott Hansen. I used to play a game with my friends. We would, because you never really saw Scott Hansen till like halftime of the day, and we'd be like, what tie do you think he's wearing? So we would always guess what kind of tie, and the losers always had to buy like beer after. Just it was just like a fun drinking game
Nice.
for the boys. But yeah, so we got 45 more days till opening day,
Full steam
10
ahead.
more days till preseason.
Woo.
Sundays, it's right around the corner. You gotta love it. We talked a little college football last pod, but now till the start of the NFL season, we'll be tackling 2 teams each pod and give you guys our best plays for that team, win totals, the team to make or miss the playoffs, or a specific player prop that we think have some value. We're gonna start today in the NFC East with the Washington football team. And how about them Cowboys? Elvis, let me start with you. From everything that you saw in the future market for the Cowboys, what's your favorite play from them?
Favorite play? I'm gonna be honest. Dak attack. I have a Dak Prescott prop. I feel like
Wow.
he's gonna come back this season and take off.
Wow.
I don't know if you guys remember last season. He was through 4 or 5 games.
Yeah,
he was
leading-
averaging damn near 400 yards passing.
Leading the
but
league.
They were 1-3.
like I said, he was averaging damn near 400 yards passing. So I'll be taking Dak Prescott to lead the league in passing at plus 500.
I love those
Wow.
odds. I thought I saw him last at plus 200, but I'm guessing odds shied towards other quarterbacks.
And he's second favorite. Patrick Mahomes is plus 310.
Which I think he should.
Rightfully
should.
so. Because look
Yeah.
at their passing. Look who they're passing to. They got a lot of weapons, both those
Bro,
teams.
you got CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Gallup. They might be the best wide receiving core in the league.
And I think they're gonna.
And you're getting Blake Jarwin back from injury.
The
in
tight
my
end.
opinion, I
Yeah.
think that they're gonna be a lot of shootout games. So look towards the over for a lot of Cowboy
I
games.
like
And that's
that.
another thing. I also feel like the defense ain't great at all. So I feel like Dak gonna have to shoot it out where a bunch of teams or
Yeah.
play catch up. So I do expect them to average above 350 yards passing this season.
That's nice.
Very
I like
nice.
that one. I could get behind that one. Joe, what's your favorite?
When the
play?
schedule was released, man, I went crazy and I looked at all the games, how they were lining up, and right now I see the win total at 9.5, and I had the Cowboys winning the division at 10-7. I thought that it's just one of those divisions that they don't need a lot of wins, and I know it's hard to say, right? They're like a bad ball club, 1-3 last year, but let's go. I don't like them making. They're gonna make the playoffs if that. That's -156. But the win
Yeah.
total, I think you're getting better odds over 9.5. So I'll do it. It's a bold take, but I'm gonna do it because I think you said it single-handedly, man. Dak Prescott could do it. It could be a lot of shootouts, but maybe what they did on the moves in the draft in the offseason, maybe they could kind of improve defensively. Mike McCarthy's not a
Joe.
defensive head coach, but
at the end of the day, you know who they hired for the defensive coordinator this year? Dan Quinn. You know who had the worst defense last season? The Falcons.
You know, like before then, though, he was one of the best
But he is-
defensive coordinators we
I
thought.
was
Yeah,
just
that-
gonna say, he
But at
does
the end
have
of
a
the day, you had the
history.
talent. You had Legion of Boom.
True. This is true.
You had Hall of Famers.
Now he doesn't.
You don't got no Hall of Famers that side of the ball. Maybe Demarcus. Damn, what's this dude's name? Overpaid. DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah.
Overpaid.
I don't know.
Might be a bad take for me, but I'm gonna stick with it because, like I said, I was looking at the scheduling, and that's where I came in.
Nah,
with.
I like it, Joe. I hear you, but I don't think they'll be much better on defense this year. Maybe
Not at all.
a little better because they were bottom 4 last year's season, but they're still gonna be a bottom 10 defense.
For me, I'm gonna go with a player prop that I think probably is a lock. I do have another play, but the one that I really like is Zeke over 9.5 rushing touchdowns at -120. Zeke had 46 touchdowns in 71 games. That's 11 in a 17-game season. He's taken this season seriously, I think, and his reputation is getting questioned. People saying he got fat, he doesn't care, not taking it serious. I think he's motivated now. And another factor, he's the goal line back, which is extremely important, not Pollard. Like I said, he's motivated. I've looked at clips. I know they're just clips, but he looks great. He looks in shape. I think he wants to get paid, and I think he likes money a little more than football. So I think he's going to ball out this season. So I'm going to take Zeke over 9.5 rushing touchdowns.
They need him, man. They need him
Yeah.
because when they had Zeke at his prime, you know, you could say maybe he's out of it, but they were able to control the clock. And the fact that you guys are taking these props with the Cowboys actually has given me a little confidence with the fact that the Cowboys making the playoffs because they need Dak to do what he needs to do, and they need Zeke to return to his former self. And of course, if they're able to control the clock and maybe keep their defense on the sidelines, then maybe it doesn't matter how bad their defense is. Maybe they could slide into the playoffs just with their offense.
Elvis, do you have another play for the Cowboys?
No, I was just gonna go off of what you were saying about Zeke. With Zeke, if you got him going back to the playoffs, last time the Cowboys made the playoffs, Zeke led the league in rushing.
Wow.
So I think Zeke is the main course.
How's their O-line?
It's questionable.
It's questionable, but if they're healthy, this is one of the best in the league. You know, you got Zach Martin there, so
I do have another lean. Joe, do you have another lean?
No, like I said, my lean might have been that
have
they
a-
make the playoffs because we don't know how the other teams could go. But
Yeah.
I went over on the 9.5, which is a bold one. Elvis, I didn't mean to cut
kind
you
of
off.
have a pick for week 1 for the Cowboys.
Oh, who are they playing?
Tampa Bay
Oh God!
no!
On a Thursday night?
opening day,
Let's fucking
first game of the season, Thursday night. I'll be taking Tampa Bay
Tampa
minus 6.5. I just honestly, if I was trying to look for the prop, but I guess it's not up on FanDuel. I was gonna take the over under in the game is like 52.5. So I was gonna take the first half under because I just feel like they're gonna come out a little sloppy, you know, the first half, and then the Bucks gonna just take off the second half. So if anything, you could take Cowboys plus the points first half, and then full game Tampa minus 6.5,
Win
and
by a
then
touchdown.
possibly lean the under, but 52.5 is just a lot of points for week 1.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know. I don't have too much on the total, but I do like Tampa, excuse me, minus the 6.5 because I definitely think they're more than a touchdown favorite.
Yeah, I honestly see him winning the game by 10, 15.
So it makes me think: is there a prop for first touchdown of the season? It would have to be in that game.
Yeah, had
Yeah,
to be.
it's not up. I was just looking same game parlays. Then nothing's up. We're still about 40 days.
Would you
away.
If I
lean
had
like maybe a
guessed-
Buccaneer player or maybe a Cowboy player? What are you thinking?
Antonio Brown, fuck it.
Is he even on the team?
A lot of money. Let's go. I do have another Cowboy prop. Joe, I'm sorry, but I'm going to fade you. I'm going Cowboys to miss the playoffs at plus 145.
Man, the defense isn't good.
This team rarely makes the playoff anyway.
They haven't been in 2 years.
I can't see them winning the division. I like Washington and more, and I think the Giants could be a sneaky team this year.
Yep.
So where do we go? The wild card. The NFC is deep. We were talking right before we went on air. In the NFC North, Minnesota, we don't really know about Green Bay, but Minnesota's going to be there. Then in the NFC South, you got the defending champs, and then you got a couple young teams in Carolina and
See what
Atlanta.
they can do.
And then every team in the NFC West will be good.
Yes.
All 4.
And let's look at last year. They beat no one, the Cowboys. The teams they beat were the Falcons, 4-12, Giants, 6-10, Minnesota, 7-9. They had a down year. The Bengals, 4-11-1, 49ers 6-10. They had a down year ruled by injuries, and the Eagles 4-11-1.
Jalen Hurts.
Not one legitimate win I could have. I don't trust their coach. Their O-line is questionable, and we got to see how if Dak can stay healthy. Their defense has shown us that they can't stop anyone. I just think Washington football team and the Giants are more of a complete team right now. So I'm going to go Cowboys to miss the playoffs at plus 145. I think this number should be more towards even money, in my opinion.
Both teams have better coaching.
Yeah,
as well.
Mike McCarthy, the reason he won the Super Bowl is because he had fucking
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, me and you could fucking take a team to the playoffs with Aaron Rodgers.
And I'm be honest, Dez caught it. So if
that's a fact.
That's true.
Dez caught it.
That's a fact.
That's their Cowboys right there going to the Super Bowl.
Dez caught it. That's what I'm gonna say.
Let's switch because I got a little heat right there. Let's
The blood is pumping.
yeah. Let's switch to the Washington football team. Elvis, what's your favorite play for them in the future market?
Last season, the Washington football team went 7-9, winning the division.
Winning the division with Heineke, baby. That's my boy.
This season, they upgraded a little bit in the quarterback with Fitzmagic. At the end of the day, they have a top 5 defense, arguably a top 1 defense. They were the number 1 defensive rating team last season. So with that being said, I would be taking the over at 8.5 games at plus 100. I just feel like that's just great money right there to be earned. I just feel like Washington is honestly the best or the second best team in the division. Then their defense wins championships. I'm not saying they're gonna come out and win a championship, but then they made the playoffs last season for a reason, and just off the defense alone. So I feel like the offense will be slightly better this season to get them over 500 and possibly go 10, 9-8, 10-7 around there. I honestly feel like Washington will be slightly better this season, and that defense is still gonna be elite.
I agree, Joe. What's your favorite?
Yeah,
market?
I know it sounds crazy, but I'm an over guy, and I will trail you. Win totals at 8.5, and I think they will break that. I think they'll get at least 9 wins. I looked at their schedule as well. I did have them finishing 9-8, but what I also have a question is them making the playoffs at plus 156. So it's crazy to say, right? You got a lot of teams in the NFC that could make it over these two teams, but they could sneak in. I mean, it's just crazy. If you don't have the 49ers perform, we maybe have a down season from my team with the Seahawks. I don't want to get away from the point, but we got to go over everything as we go on into these seasons. So right as of now, I'm taking the Washington football team over the 8.5, and I would even go and maybe sprinkle a little something on them making the playoffs because they're plus money. Plus 156 being the best defensive team in the NFC East, I think you got to roll with it.
I'm actually going to go, to the week 1 market. Okay? I love the week 1 game against the Chargers. How are the Chargers a -1 point favorite on the road? It doesn't make any sense to me. The Chargers should definitely be better this season. Don't get me wrong. They got a new coach. The Washington football team has Ron Rivera, and I trust him way more than I do trust Brandon Staley. Ron Rivera has covered the week 1 spread in 5 of his last 7 seasons. This is the best stat right here. In his last 10 years of coaching, no matter where he is, his defense is giving up on average of just 15 points per game in week 1. His teams are coming into the season focused, ready to play. Like you said, Elvis, the defense is led by Chase Young. They should be better than last year. They upgraded the QB position, not top 10, but he's solid. He's top 16 quarterback. Like I said, the Chargers new coach Brandon Staley, he's never been a head coach. He's only had 1 year as a coordinator with the Rams, and I just think the wrong team is favored here. I'll take the point in my pocket, and I'll even take the opposite of our teams. I'll even take the Washington.
You did. No, I didn't. I got to look a little bit further as maybe the weeks approach. Fitzmagic has those games where he's like throwing 500 and 4 touchdowns. So, Terry McLaurin might catch 2 or 3 of those. That would help him out tremendously. Well, no, we had a pretty decent episode, a pretty long one. I like it, and yeah, I can't wait for Friday's episode. We'll have a lot to cover.